What is up, friends? We are here for the crypto trenches. Today, we're going to get into some fun stuff, the Crypto Influencer Hall of Fame and Shame. Diving deep into influencers around the space who are going to make our Wall of Fame or Wall of Shame, so you know who to trust. When you're out there digging in the crypto sphere, there's a ton of shillers out there, but we've managed to find some people who are pretty trustworthy. I know Mike and David are going to hop in soon. Mike had to handle some stuff at his property, and David is somewhere lurking around in the trenches, but I know they got a couple things lined up. Hope everyone is doing good out there today. Let's see, Steve-O, welcome. Yeah, past grifters. Because old Biddy baby, man, that was and he started off decent, man. I don't know if I think when you get so much money, it exposes who you really are. And speaking of David.
Howdy.
Yeah. Just talking, Steve-O said, I hope you include past grifters because Ben Armstrong should be at the top of your Hall of Shame. And I was saying, man, he started out really decent, seemed like a decent dude. But I think when you start getting a lot of money, it exposes who you really are. It just amplifies. And also, if you have a substance problem, that can lend to some pretty erratic behavior. And so if you don't have these habits and a good foundation before you get wealthy, it can just go off the rails.
Yeah, BitBoy, man, I'm looking at his picture right now. He does not look too good, dude.
There's an update?
No, I don't think so. I'm just looking at I guess like an old mugshot of his. Yeah, not too good, man. Not too good. But I think where we've really got to start off is the cold card guy. Because, dude, the more that I read into this cold card guy,
is it an inside job? I saw that.
Yeah, it looks like it. It really, really looks like it, man. I don't know how else to explain it. I think that that makes the most sense. That it was, who knows as of this point in time, but dude, it really looks like it was.
So I mean, that issue was with how the seed phrase was generated, right? And there's a certain randomness that applies to it, and I guess the type of cryptography or something or randomness that they used was not very random. So how exactly is that coded in or built into these wallets?
So they call it a random number generator, I think. There's some type of randomness there. And here, let me just see if I can find out exactly what the library was. So there's a library. Let me see if I can find it. Tell me about the cold card library that created the. I'm going to call it an exploit. I'm going to call it a retirement exploit. So that's what the cold card guy, the cold card team themselves, that's what they posted about. They called exactly this exact exploit. They called it a retirement hack or a retirement bug. I've been posting about it all day in the Node community, man. And if you take a look at it, it's the very last post that I posted in the Node.pros community.
All right. So share my screen up.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. It really is. You see it there?
Yeah. Yeah. If everyone come to the Node.pro and in the community tab, it's like our own personal Discord, where we won't censor you. or ban you for freedom of speech. So just don't be posting no naughty pictures in there.
Yeah, no nonsense. Just keep it crypto, DeFi, Web3, digital assets, and you're good. So, Jeff, what do you make of this, man?
So when project makers could have a bug in the entropy generation for later retrieval. Oh my gosh. So is in the library itself, they called it a retirement?
So it looks like the CTO of Cold Card, what it looks like to me based on what I've read so far, it looks like the CTO of Cold Card, if you scroll up to the top there, Jeff, as we can see that. So the CTO of Cold Card wrote this library which had the bug in it, which was used in these Cold Card devices. And then the Cold Card X account posted about this exact bug in entropy generation that could be used for later retrieval. And they referred to it as a retirement hack or retirement exploit. So, what are the chances that the Cold Card team would have a bug in the entropy generation for later retrieval that they would post about, and then a couple of years later, the exact scenario that they were joking about would turn out to be true? What are the chances of that?
Dude, that's crazy. I mean, how dumb do you have to be to put that in there? It's like, hey, look at me. I'm going to steal all your money. And how exactly are they going to get this Bitcoin off chain or get the funds?
They'll probably be able to launder it, into God knows what, Zcash or Monero, or through a mixer, and then eventually go into USDC or something. I don't know, but
is it 80 million now?
That's more than that. I think it's getting close to double that. So it's not good, dude.
Christ, man.
It's not good. And the fact that Bitcoin is actually rallying, it's kind of interesting. Bitcoin at 64 just makes me think that, with the stock market, just basically straight up. It's August. So I definitely do think that, by the end of this month, things will be lower than they are now. But we're getting very, very close to a level of trendline resistance for BTC. And I'm just thinking to myself that, usually you get some type of a push up before the eventual dump. We haven't really gotten that push up. But if the push up comes, maybe another 1,000 or a couple $1,000s to the upside. I watched, Gareth Soloway talking about, a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern for BTC today. And although I can see where he's coming from, I don't think that his target of 76,000 makes any sense at all. I think that, if we're going to get a push higher for Bitcoin, it's got to happen over the next 48 or 72 hours. So, yeah, I'm thinking to myself that, this month ends up being much, much lower for Bitcoin. And, everyone is holding out hope that there's going to be some type of a Clarity Act vote this week. I don't think so. It's starting to look, pretty bleak for BTC here. But I do think that we get one more push.
These, all these hacks that claim a bunch of Bitcoin and stuff, like this Cold Card, and it doesn't really cause Bitcoin to drop like other projects. When there's an exploit or a hack, the price is down pretty significantly. What do you make of that? Seems to hold its value pretty well. Is it just because it's such a large asset that it's whatever?
I don't think that one thing is correlated with the other. I don't know that. I'm not convinced that price is correlated with news most of the time. And this Bitcoin hasn't moved. It's and it's pretty clear that this was an exploit associated just with Cold Card. So maybe if like Ledger or Trezor were hacked, or if those BTC that are stolen were just dumped, that would be one thing. But yeah, man, I'm thinking to myself that it's getting very, very close to the time where you want to start buying Bitcoin. And yeah, when I look at BTC here, man, I think that we probably get one more push to the upside, just one more, maybe up to like the 200-day moving average on the that would be extreme. If we got a push to that 200-day moving average, that's at like 70,000 or so. That would be around 70,000 if it were to get up there. I think that would be like a crazy push higher if it's able to get up there. But it's August 4th. And I do think that there's one more push, but I think that by the end of this month, it's sharply lower. So yeah, I like me some Bitcoin though, man. I really do. I just think that it's just a little bit too early to really go into it. So yeah, but basically I think that you would know if it breaks down below 62.6, then I think that's kind of all she wrote, and we retest 58 and then maybe even push a little bit lower. But with the S&P and the NASDAQ literally going parabolic again, I think that risk appetite might return. And then, all it would take is for the cycle to continue, and then we get the final dump out into the end of the summer. So this month and the end of September, we get that final flush, and then you can start buying. So yeah, it's just a shame what's happening with everyone who had Bitcoin on Cold Card devices.
Yeah, man. It's I'm glad that I'm kind of glad you didn't get that Cypher Rock, because if you had gotten it and everything seemed fine, and then all of a sudden it wasn't, you thought, oh, well, I'm gonna put my CC on here, and then turns out you get fucked. It's better to know ahead of time, and it sucks losing $90, but it's better than losing 90,000.
Dude, I don't understand why those guys haven't issued me a refund yet. Their customer service from the very get-go was horrible. The way that they've been responding to me screams scam. And I'm just so happy that, that I'm so happy that it looks like I got scammed out of $90 and not anything more than that. Because a lot of people use Cypher Rocks, it looks like. I think that they've got a pretty decent base of people who use those things. And I mean, dude, their customer support has been horrible. And the emails that I've been getting are they're the exact emails you get when someone scams you.
My friend, we have your $90, my friend.
I mean, dude, I can read some of this shit to you. It's crazy, man. And they've just been going back and forth, and I'm just like, where's my money, dude? It's $90. Just send me my $90 back. And this is what they're saying. This is the last email, and they only respond to me once a day, and it's always at 4:00 in the morning. And they say, "Hi, David. We wanted to inform you that your refund is still in process. Our team will email you directly from our side as soon as the refund process is initiated. Thank you for your continued patience. Please let us know if you have any further queries." It's motherfuckers, send me my money back. What is even going on here? This is like a real company, dude. These guys actually make a product that people use. It's mind blowing to me. Yeah, he's saying, "Calm down, my friend." I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed.
I got this for you.
Yeah.
Morning. Good day to you, sir. Hey, wait a minute. What the hell? Getting real tired of you ducking me, man. Yeah?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Getting really tired. Where's my money? Where's my money? Yeah, you got money to pay for fake mustaches, huh? Yeah. How much you pay for that fake mustache?
$2.90.
I mean,
Where's my
dude,
money, man?
yeah, no, I totally get it. I mean, look, dude, it's like, yeah. So I'm a little upset about it because I fell for it. Like I should have researched these, and like when you start researching these guys a little bit, like big crypto companies have done reviews on their wallet, and like in light of what happened with Cold Card, like I can't believe that I didn't spend the time to perform more research on CypherRock. Like, I'm really pissed at myself that I didn't perform more research on it and that I just trusted without verifying. Like, all I would have had to do is research the team and like that's basically it. And like try to send them a support email. Like try to get in contact with someone. Go on their Telegram.
Yeah.
Go on. I don't even know if they have a Discord. I didn't even try. I don't even go on Discord anymore. It's a waste of time. But like when I go on Telegram, man, and on their Telegram, all I get are scammers. It took me a couple of days to even get a response from what I think is one of their bots on their Telegram. And when I look in their Telegram, it's like there's nothing going on there, man. It's like ancient. Like their channels are ancient in there. So number one, that's a huge red flag. Number two, like these guys actually have like they make a product. Like people apparently use this. And like when you scroll down here, Jeff, like, they post. Like, look, go back. So can you take a look at that first post right there? Yeah, not the first one. That one's ancient, but this one right here. This week, people are saying two things: go back to exchanges or just buy an ETF. And so I'm assuming that they're talking about this, the cold card exploit. I'm assuming that that's what they're talking about here. And like, dude, if they can't even issue a $90 refund, like, and it's not even that they can't issue it. Of course, that's the bottom line, but like, it's the poor communication and it's their language in their communications with me, where it's just like, it screams scammer. It screams scammer to me. Like, and the fact that these guys have been interviewed by like big channels and big platforms, and people use this product, and there's no support at all. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
That's a good point that you brought up, is sending the support team a message. Just like, hey, I'm interested in your product. Can you share some information or just something to see what their response is like if they get back to you? Because that's really important before you deal with anybody. To have that on your checklist. And also, how many of these projects? Because I know, like, who was it? Coin Bureau did a big article on them, and like, how many of these people were paid by CypherRock to do these interviews and articles? That's another thing that we got.
That's a good question.
Pay attention.
That's a really good question. And Crypto Sibo in the chat is saying, why is Caspa on your watch list? Well, I mean, for me, Caspa's not on my watch list. Look, I've got a bunch of projects on my watch list.
I had it on here because it was before we did deep dive. I just put it on here. Yeah. I'll just put some random shit on here and see, just kind of keep an eye on it.
Yeah. So for me, Caspa's definitely not on my shopping list. I know that a lot of people have it on theirs, but not for me. It's a do nothing. It's one of these DNCs, these do nothing coins.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. And yeah, dude, as far as I'm concerned, until I get my $90 back from CypherRock, and even if I do, I'll still consider them to be scam. Just because the support has been horrible. And like, dude, you can't trust a hardware wallet in light of what's happened to Cold Card. you can't trust it if these guys can't respond to you. Like, it's just, it's just impossible. So, yeah, nope. As far as I'm concerned, CypherRock is a scam. And they're like the only hardware wallet that supports CC natively. So, like, yeah, I think that these guys are scammers, dude. Yeah.
Yep. No on CypherRock. And speaking of do nothing coins, let's get into our first wall of shame. So Mike had, I guess, commented on this guy's, well, he's blocked. He's blocked the Node network from replying. And let me pull up this tweet that I saw yesterday, because I am thankfully not blocked, but oh no, Mike replied, it's shitbags like this that give crypto a bad name. I would have just posted on his post, but since he blocked me, I'll just say it. And his feed is full of these rumors. Apple will announce a $1.5 billion XRP purchase tomorrow. And you can just go down the list. Stuff about XLM and HBAR. Ripple will replace the Fed and become its own bank. Just all these rumors and nothing supporting his statements. No facts, just a bunch of hearsay. And thankfully, people in the comments, on his posts are like, dude, shut up. Just quit with this bullshit already. It's Canary clients purchase $1 million worth of XRP and just all this bullshit. So, but he does have a Telegram group that in every one of his posts you can see, or just about right here, access his private Telegram group. Right here, getting his just 2 days remain for XRP holders. Get in there, hurry up, or else you might miss the latest alpha that nobody else knows about.
It's such a shame.
When you see somebody doing this, like, oh, get in our private access group for the alerts, and that screams shill.
Yeah, well, I mean, but how many of the how many of this guy are there? This is why, like,
yeah,
I'm so anti XRP, dude, because okay, so there's a couple of red flags when you're, consuming content on X or YouTube or whatever, any social media platform about crypto. Usually it goes something like this. They talk good about XRP or ADA, Cardano, or Stellar, or, whatever ISO coin. Because those ISO coins, there's no real there. We've done deep dive research on just about all of them, and there's no value accrual mechanism for any of them. It's completely broken. Their tokenomics are completely broken. So you're basically buying hype or something, like the hype around it. And so this guy has 86,000 followers, man.
Yeah.
Like these people, it's shameful. It's shameful what they do. So number one, if they, put out this emotionally charged content around the ISO coins, that's a huge red flag. So whenever I see, people posting about XRP, that's a huge red flag, because there's nothing good to post about XRP. If you want to post about Ripple Labs, the fintech, okay.
All of its posts.
But if you want to post about XRP the coin, dude, XRP the coin is it's some type of fraudulent scam. This fucking Ripple Labs was dumping on retail for years and years, and they continue to. That's where the vast majority of their revenue comes from, just dumping XRP coins, tokens on retail. They make
You're
10
funding
times
their
more.
operations. You're
Exactly
just giving
right.
them your money.
Yeah. And so Moneymaker XRP,
welcome.
He's saying salute Steve-O. Brother, it's just so sad that people fall for this stuff, because XRP is clearly some type of a scam. It's
at least
obvious.
he's smart about this. He doesn't watch this guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's the first step.
it's a shame that you're that you believe this stuff, man, because I mean, it really, really is. It really, really is a shame. All those ISO coins are just worthless garbage. All of them. We were trying earlier today to like figure out some type of information about Zebek and can't find anything. And like, take a look at the team and okay, like, why can't we figure out any information about Zebek? It looks like it's just a token on Solana and Base. Like, that's what it looks like it is now. And yet they've got this website where they claim to do this and claim to do that. And whenever you see like all of the content is just partnership with insert name of institution here, but then there's no actual there. And when you actually run deep dive research on the tokenomics of the coin, like it doesn't check out. There's no value accrual mechanism. There's no one actually using it. It's just hype posts about some type of collaboration with insert name of institution. It's bullshit, man. Like, it's just nonsense. Like, the only way for a digital asset to actually perform well long term is, in the case of XRP, to just dump on retail so that they have a war chest that they can use to survive. Like, that's method number one. But XRP is the outlier there. Like, the rest of the ISO coins have been down only. So I don't understand how guys think that a coin that's been down only is like suddenly going to recover when the tokenomics are fake. And like in the case of XRP, man, like there's no value accrual mechanism to the token. So like if you want to say like, oh, well, DTCC and like whatever the nonsense narrative is at this point in time about why XRP number go up, like, well, let me just take a look at what Moneymaker XRP is saying in the chat. Oh, today it was announced at Wells Fargo. Like, dude, it's the same bullshit. Like, I can't believe that people fall for this stupid crap. Like, oh, well, Wells Fargo plus XRP, that means number go up. Like, brother, fucking retarded. Like, dude, that's not how this works, man. Like, these coins, they either have value accrual or they don't. They're either real users or there aren't. There's either real revenues generated on the chain or there aren't. And in the case of XRP and all of those ISO coins, they're all a scam, dude. They're all a scam. And the people who push it, the reason why they push it is because it's so easy for people who know nothing about finance, who know nothing about tokenomics or value accrual. It's so easy to get sucked into these narratives and to have that emotional attachment to, oh, I believe that it's going to go in. And then what they do is they say, oh, well, without even looking into it. It's like, dude, I've looked into it a lot. That's why I can so confidently say that, like, it's a scam. It's a scam, dude. It's a straight up scam.
Because they're not separating Ripple, the company, from XRP, the token, which, you know, it's like, oh, no, they're the same thing. Ripple getting
they're
all this.
Not.
Yeah.
They're not. And so that's why, you know, when Crypto Stevo says, oh, well, Ripple's publicly traded? Since when? No, it's not. It's not. And XRP is not equity in Ripple Labs. XRP is like some, it's some scam gas token for a chain that does nothing and will never do anything because Canton is eating its lunch. So Canton Network with CC is going to eat and it already is, eating lunch of all of these ISO coins. So like Stellar XLM, I think that Stellar XLM will never launch tokenized anything with the DTCC ever. I think that's a fugazi. I don't think they're
later
they're
this
ever,
year. But later this year they might.
Right? See, that's always the thing. That's the thing, Jeff. That's what they always say. Like whenever you see the narrative constantly changing, that makes it really easy to point out bullshit. Because whenever the narrative changes, that just means that it was fake. That means that it was a non-starter in the first place. So let's see. What else is Moneymaker saying here? Because whatever he says, like, you know, that's how you know. It's like, all right, so what is Nick Dunn saying? If Brad Garlinghouse is making moves inside the White House, then I'll gamble some money on XRP. But Nick, like, this is the same fallacy. Like, it's almost like the call to authority, where, you know, if if people think that, because there's some connection between like, a big institution and the people at the top of a company that issues a coin, that means number go up. Like, dude, no, that's not how this stuff works, man. They use that to get people like us, retail, to buy their scam token so that they can sell it for a higher price and exit. That's why they sell their coins every month. Don't you think that they would be holding all of those XRP coins every month rather than selling them if there was some there? There isn't, man. That's how they make money.
They're token holders like traditional finance companies are beholden to their shareholders.
There's no legal contract, right? It's not a security, and that enables them to dump it. So I mean, there's no there for any of the ISO coins, and so I think that XRP and XLM, and I couldn't even find any information about Zebek, dude. Like
and
if
they have a card too. Zebek has a card.
I mean, give me a break. Like, really? There's a card, but you just can't find any information about it anywhere except for like blog posts on centralized exchanges. Like, there were no primary sources there at all. Oh. Zero. Couldn't find a single one. So it's like, what exactly is this again? Like, it doesn't make any sense that there's no information about it. That screams scam. So like, Quant and Cubic and Zebek and XRP and XLM, and dude, these are all scams. Like, these things go to zero. And even if they're not straight up scams, they're garbage projects. And like, you have to be able to distinguish the garbage from the good. You really do. And there are very few projects in crypto that are worth anything. And even with the good projects, like we saw today with Ethereum, man, like that EIP to like cut the staking or something, dude.
Yeah,
that's a huge problem.
Posted in the right here.
Yeah, huge problem. Like, this is really, really stupid. Moneymaker XRP, you heard it here first. XRP is going to zero. XRP is worthless. It's a scam, and it's been perpetrated by Ripple Labs for a long time. Man, it's going to zero along with all the other ISO coins.
What exactly is this EIP release that happened?
Dude, so basically they're trying to like cut the inflation rate of ETH, but this proposal, if it's enacted, would like basically not make it make sense for you to stake ETH. So it would be really, really bad for Ethereum if this were to pass. And, the problem is that like we reviewed Ethereum, the new Ethereum Foundation. So when everyone either was fired or quit the Ethereum Foundation when the new guy took over, and then they posted that new Ethereum Foundation manifesto, dude, huge red flag, that manifesto. It was like, it was scary bad how horrible that Ethereum Foundation manifesto was. So like, and this totally makes sense. This is the type of nonsense that you would expect from like, a communist running Ethereum. That's basically what it looked like. Like they were some type of cypherpunk communists, like running the Ethereum Foundation now. Like that's kind of what it looks like to me. So like, this is really, really bad news for anyone holding ETH. And I mean, like the list of projects in the digital asset space that don't have garbage tokenomics, like, dude, I'm having a really hard time finding more than 5, that actually do something. Like most of them are DNCs, do nothing coins, So like even Bitcoin, man, even Bitcoin has big problems. Like Bitcoin has governance problems too. Like some of the proposals that are coming out for Bitcoin are just crazy talk. Bitcoin needs smart contracts, dude. Bitcoin needs covenants. Bitcoin miners need a reason to keep their machines on and continue to refresh them. If you take a look at the actual economics of being a Bitcoin miner, like you've got to love burning cash to be a Bitcoin miner. It doesn't make any sense at all. And so like, the more, Jeff, the more that we've gone through these pieces of deep dive research, the more that we start to see how these chains are dying. I mean, Jeff, how many chains have died year to date just this year? Like, how many? Like dozens and dozens and dozens? Yeah.
And dude, I called this 2 years ago, man. I was like, all these layer twos that they're just rinsing and repeating, and all these DeFi protocols, and there's just, it's not sustainable. They're all gonna, most of them are gonna go away. And I started seeing one by one fall, and then more and more. It's like, yep, I called this, man. And the whole Bitcoin mining thing was my concern, you know, like 40, 50 years out, when there's very little Bitcoin being produced or mined. And what's going to incentivize these miners to keep their rigs on if it's going to cost them, you know, 100 times more than what they're getting in return?
So, you know what I was thinking about, man, when I was walking back from this morning on the beach, I'm walking back from the beach, and I was just thinking to myself, like, there's a proposal, a Solana proposal, which looks like it was just able to pass to like the next phase today. And I was thinking to myself, like, decentralization is awesome, but it also allows all the retards to have a voice. At a certain point in time, there's got to be some type of a decision maker who can own a decision. And that person has to be really smart and wise. And I'm not saying that the people who run Solana are that. But what I am saying is that the centralization might not be such a horrible thing in this case. Because, you know, what we're seeing out of Ethereum, you know, with this EIP, this is horrible. And what we're seeing out of Bitcoin is the decentralization of the Bitcoin community is making it very, very difficult and very, very slow to get any meaningful updates passed for Bitcoin. Like, that needs to happen. Or you guys, Bitcoin can die. There's no reason why it can't. Okay, like Bitcoin can totally die. And so can Ethereum, man. Or Ethereum could be killed, or its lunch could be eaten by Solana or Canton. I mean, I think I posted something in the community earlier today, Jeff, about
killed from within. I mean, that's one of the.
Do you remember Alta Vista? Do you remember Ask Jeeves?
Yep.
Do you remember those search engines? It's in there somewhere, dude. Like, I posted, it's like there's a chart in there. Like, there it is, right there. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, dude, take a look at that. That was super interesting.
And have you ever looked into the Triffin's dilemma?
So, dude, and again, it's the call to authority. So the XRP people, they always make the same logical fallacy mistake. They always, like, there's always some call to authority where it's like, insert institution name here. Fed, ECB, BIS, yada, yada, yada. Same old tired bullshit over and over and over again. None of that means number go up for the XRP coin. The XRP coin is it's on a broken chain. Like, the tokenomics are nonsense. No one uses it for anything. No one ever will. And so you take a look at these. This was the search engine wars. Okay, we're living right now through the blockchain wars. So this was 1998. This was before Google, and you got Alta Vista. You could consider that to be, I don't know, the Ethereum of today. You got Lycos. You know, maybe that's the XRP. You got Yahoo. You know, maybe that's the suit. You got Excite, you know, maybe B&B. That's, I don't know, the B&B. You got AOL, that might be Caspa. You got, you know, Ask Jeeves. I don't know. What's that one going to be? Bitensor Tau? Yeah, you got Web Crawler. That's Cardano. Like, you guys, all of these things went to zero. They all went to zero, you know? And so, like, the only one that's going to survive is going to be it's going to be winner take most. And winner take most is going to be the chain where there's actual users driving real revenues that accrue to that token. Otherwise, the chain won't survive, man. It won't survive. And, you know, when you, like, I spend hours every single day with Mike running through this deep dive research on crypto protocols. This is what I do for a living, you guys. And I don't fucking get paid. And I still do it. And so like
Yet.
I do this, right, exactly. I do this every single day. And, it's easy to spot patterns, man. And so when I do this every single day and I spot these patterns, I see, oh, wow, almost all of these crypto projects are nonsense and will likely go to zero. So, yeah, man, I think, no, dude, like these coins are nonsense, dude. They're almost all nonsense. They're almost all vapor. Even the ones with massive market caps are vapor. XRP just happens to be the best example. But yeah, and Crypto Stevo that's a good question, man. How is XRP a documented winner? What? Because it's the longest running scam? That makes it a winner? I don't understand. Like, all Ripple Labs has done is dump on top of the heads of retail for like longer than a decade. Like, it's actually a really gross history. And so I think that what we're going to end up doing at some point pretty soon is running through the history of some of these coins that have been around for a while, like XRP. And we're going to run through the history of Ripple Labs and the guys behind it. It's disgusting. Like, it's really disgusting. And so when I made that comment a couple of weeks ago about how I wouldn't be surprised if there were, guys with FBI jackets that ran through Ripple Labs offices.
Yeah,
like, dude,
that.
I think that should happen, because like anyone who has eyes to see can clearly from a mile away see that these guys have been running a fraud for like a decade, dude. Like, I don't understand why they haven't been investigated seriously yet. So, we're living through the blockchain wars right now, you guys. We're living through them right now. And the only chains and coins that are going to survive, and there probably will be like 2, maybe 3, maybe. Like, the whole idea of like a multi-chain future, most of the tokenomics of these projects are completely broken. Completely broken. Yep. And so that's why we've seen so many Crux.
Oh,
no.
No.
You're a good dude, man. No, we haven't dragged your name through the mud at all. We wouldn't do that to you. But some of the projects I am going to say what I think about these projects. Yeah, man. So, like, if we just run through some of these projects, right? Let me just, since Crux is showing up, I want to give him some ammo to use against me or something. So, all the ISO coins, XRP, XLM, Cubic, Quant, Zebek, these are all frauds, dude. They're all scams. Like, these things, and even if they're not straight up frauds or scams, they're bullshit projects with horrible tokenomics, and they're all going to go to zero. So, Jeff, can you bring back up that chart there, because that really illustrates my point. I want to give some people some information here. So, we're living through the blockchain wars right now. Do any of you guys remember AltaVista or Lycos or Yahoo or Excite or AOL or Ask Jeeves or Webcrawler? You guys remember any of that stuff? No.
If you're over 35, probably.
It's all dead and gone, man. Just like XRP will be, just like XLM will be, just like Cubic and Quant and Zebek. All of those 5 that I just mentioned, they're going to die, dude, because the tokenomics are bullshit, like complete bullshit. And so, like, how many projects have we seen die just so far this year? A lot. And they're all going to die the same way. You're not going to be able to incentivize validators to continue to secure the network at a certain point in time. And if there are no users driving no revenues, and those revenues don't accrue to the token, it's just a matter of time until the project dies. And, you can throw SUI in there. So SUI is going to die too. Like, there needs to be like real adoption and legit tokenomics, man. And SUI doesn't have it. It's just like a VC scam chain. Like, it doesn't even like stay. Its uptime is nonsense. Like, didn't it
the
like
Libra
earlier
team from Facebook? They split off into SUI and Aptos. Years ago.
Yeah. And Aptos, I have no idea how Aptos made it into the Sweet 16. Like they must have, been, blowing someone, at the U.S. Attorney's Office to get into that Sweet 16. I have no idea how they did that. But Aptos is another one of these DNCs, a do-nothing chain. XRP, do-nothing scam. XLM Stellar. Let me give you a hot take. XLM Stellar will never launch anything with the DTCC. And it's just bullshit. Like, dive into the tokenomics on Stellar, man. It's nonsense. There are like two. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys, I want you to make money. Like, that's my goal. Like, I'm not just up here like shit talking for no reason. Like, I legitimately want you to succeed, and I want to succeed. And I believe wholeheartedly that XRP, XLM, Cubic, Quant, Zebek, Sui, Caspa, they're all going to die. I think they're all going to die and go to zero.
That's a big statement. Flips.
I don't think it
Bitcoin
is.
and ETH.
Wait, what? XRP.
It's going to be glorious when XRP flips Bitcoin and ETH.
I mean, brother, like, I don't know how you could believe something like that.
What you smoking on, man? Let me get some of that.
I don't want any of that. I mean,
True, you might go buy XRP after.
Dude, look, I really like the idea of Caspa, but dude, like, go run through the deep dive research that we produced on Caspa. It's a do nothing chain. Like, it's just another one of these Alta Vistas or Lycos or Yahoo. Like, it's one of these do nothing chains, and it's going to be winner take most. It's going to be, you're probably going to end up with 2, maybe 3 of these chains, maybe over the next, I don't know, 5, 6 years, something like that. Another 1 or 2 Bitcoin halving cycles. And hey, Bitcoin is not immune from this stuff at all. Not at all. Bitcoin could totally die. It totally could die. There are big problems with Bitcoin's governance, really big problems. And there are huge problems with the mining business model for BTC. Like, that mining Bitcoin, the miners' business model for Bitcoin, totally broken. Like, you get past 2 more halving cycles, people are going to turn off their machines and never come back. For anyone who wants to contradict what I'm saying there, go run some numbers on what it looks like to become a Bitcoin miner right now today. What you'll learn is that even if you get the very best hardware, number one, to get the very best hardware and to make any legitimate type of money, you need hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars just to get in the game in the first place, just to buy the hardware. And then number two, you need to be able to power that hardware. And so the very best hardware, the very best ASICs, they all require like 400 volt hookups. Like, this is like industrial scale stuff at this point. And so how in the world do you do that? You got to be able to buy all the electricity, like the electrical, like, hardware to do it. And then
you got to hire an electrician to come out and run.
And then you got to be able to pay for the electricity. And like, okay, let's say that you're able to afford. Let's say you're able to afford the hardware and you're able to afford the electrical hardware. And then you're able to somehow, let's just say that you're somehow able to get free electricity. Dude, even with free electricity, you still need it's like an 18-month payback period. So like, what? You're telling me that you got to put up millions of dollars for this massive capital investment, and then you'll only maybe get paid back in a year and a half that's just to break even. And that's if you've got free electricity. If you don't have free electricity, it's a losing game. Like, you barely make any money at all. So like, why would anyone want to get into that? Like, dude, I ran the numbers just this last weekend. Like, it literally does not make sense to be a Bitcoin miner. And like, okay, so basically if you're a Bitcoin miner right now, your bet is that Bitcoin does like a 5x over the next 24 months. That's a stupid bet to make. Like, what? You're going to sink millions of dollars into this hardware and you're betting that Bitcoin's going to pull off a 5-bagger? Like, and then what? You got to refresh the hardware. You got this sunk cost. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And so also, what happens in 2 halving cycles for Bitcoin where the block rewards go to like 0.7 BTC? how in the world are you going to be able to survive as a miner? You got this massive capital expenditure to buy all this equipment and pay for the electrical equipment and pay for the electricity. What happens during the next Bitcoin drawdown in 4 years? Let's say that the cycle, let's say that it there's another bull and then another bear, and that Bitcoin halving cycle continues. What are you going to do during the next drawdown? Are you going to refresh your machines? Really? That's what you're going to do? You're going to refresh your machines? Like, it doesn't make any sense, And so, and also the decentralization here, although like the idea of decentralization is great, don't get me wrong. I love the sovereignty that Bitcoin provides. It's a dual-sided, it's a double-edged blade here, man. Because as we're seeing with Ethereum and also with Bitcoin, like these Bitcoin improvement proposals, these BIPs, like it takes, dude, the BIPs, it takes years for this stuff to pass. And then sometimes not everyone agrees on it. And so you have like, some miners running this software and some running another. So like, dude, a lot of this stuff, man, is just, it's very, very difficult to, look out several years and be able to make a bet on where these digital assets are going to be. So even Bitcoin, which is, I think one of the best simply because of its decentralized nature, it's still got big problems. And there's no reason to think that it couldn't die. Bitcoin could totally die. It could totally go to zero too. And Ethereum, like we're taking a look at Ethereum, man. Jeff, we were taking a look at that EIP earlier today during the call. That EIP, dude, that's a huge problem. And like, I hope that it doesn't pass, because if that EIP passes, then like people are going to unstake ETH and dump it. So like, so the decentralized.
That's probably when XRP will flip ETH.
No, that's where Solana. So like,
Solana,
yeah, because the centralized nature of Solana is actually proving to be, I think, a little bit of a net benefit. So, the fact that Solana is passing, I don't even know what the Solana improvement proposals are called, but the fact, I think it reached like 15%, which was the threshold needed to like make it to the next vote, which is where it would actually get implemented. The centralized nature of Solana makes it easier for them to actually pass good stuff. Solana's got tokenomics problems right now, but and dude, don't tell me that Solana partnered with XRP. Like, ugh. Like, of course, XRP partnered with everyone. That means number go up. What you're missing, Moneymaker XRP, is that the XRP coin is completely disconnected from anything to do with any partnership, because there's no nothing on the XRP ledger. There's no nothing. It's a do nothing chain, and so it's it's one of these search engines from 1998 that's going to die and go to zero, just like most of crypto will. So, when I look at something like Canton Network, I see actual opportunity there, because it looks to me like institutions are actually interested in building compliant products on there. That's what it looks like. And, also, dude, when you take a look at Ethereum and you take a look at the Ethereum Foundation and you take a look at that manifesto that they released a couple of months ago, like, that was disgusting. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And like, these are the guys who are like working on this chain, man. Like, you really want the dude who's like running your chain to be like Mr. Boner sticking out with some like ugly Asian chick? Like, really? You really want the fucking dude running your chain to be the one who is putting out a proposal, that manifesto, with like damn near anime porn all over it? Like, that's weird, man. Like, you want
look at Zcash
to be at the top?
Zcash
Like,
is another
really?
example. You
dude,
you don't want to
like,
trust these people.
Yeah. And again, so it's like Moneymaker XRP saying like, okay, what's this stupid shit he's saying? Have you ever looked into central banks who are doing with crypto? Dude, okay. You got to look at what a call to authority is, okay? It's super frustrating for me, because I don't care what central banks say. And also, you got to think about this. this, DTCC, like looking at
Trust
multiple.
the science.
Right. Like, dude, like, so it's a call to authority. It's a fallacy. And these institutions are so big that they have no choice but to test and partner with every chain to see which one's going to actually work. And they're only going to move forward in a meaningful capacity with the one that actually does work. But they're going to test everything out first. So I think that Canton looks like it could be a winner, but it's still super early. And I think that just about everything else is going to die and go to zero. And I really hope that Bitcoin survives, man. I really do. But I'm not confident that it will. Like, it needs transaction volume on the layer one. In the absence of transaction volume on the layer one, Bitcoin dies, man, because the mining business model is completely broken. And for Ethereum, like, if Ethereum can't get its act together and stop posting these crazy, weird manifestos and like these horrible EIPs, dude, people are going to move their assets off of Ethereum and its layer twos. I don't know if you saw that chart of Robinhood, but we were talking about this last night. There was a question about Robinhood chain and the volumes on there. And the volumes on Uniswap and Robinhood chain have collapsed. And that's what happens with the meme coin trading, man. Meme coins are not a good product, dude. Meme coins are the NFTs. They're going to die too.
Yeah.
Because there's no there. It's just literally a scam. Like, if you couldn't look at NFTs back in like 2017 and say like a picture of a rock for $1 million is a scam, if you couldn't recognize that as a scam, then like there's no way you're going to be able to look at like, a dog coin and be able to recognize that as a scam. That's what they are, man. They're scams. These are scam coins that people gamble on and lose on. No one wins.
I look at it like penny stocks. The OTC markets in traditional finance, like, you see some crazy fucking movements in that, and because that's what I initially got into when I first started learning how to trade stocks was oh man, Timothy Sykes back in the day. Do you know who that is? Tim Sykes?
The name rings a bell. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, he did this whole penny stock course, and like that's what got me into trading stocks, and then seeing the movements on some of these tickers were just insane. The low floats just going bonkers. It's like, oh shit, you can really lose your ass on this. There are companies nobody ever heard of.
Yeah, man. I mean, but the problem with that stuff is that it is extremely unlikely. Like, if you buy a meme coin, okay, so this is what your expectation should be going in. If you trade meme coins, out of every 100 trades that you enter, you're likely to lose 98 times out of 100. And then the only way that you even break even is if those 2 times out of 100, you have a massive gain. So like, dude, it's like the odds are not in your favor. It's literally like you're much more likely to just burn your money. So Mike, I was just going on like an unhinged rant here.
we had Moneymaker.
Say it's not so, David. Say it's not so.
I know. I was doing my best to talk as much shit about as many projects as possible.
And that's what I love about you, David. That's what I love about you.
But I'm speaking the truth, man. Like I'm saying exactly what I think. Zero filter.
No, but you know what? I mean, honestly, we've talked about this privately. That's what this crypto space needs more of, is people getting called out for fucking saying bullshit. Making these outrageous fucking claims that these tokens are going to go to $10,000, and there's mathematically there's just no way that it's possibly going to happen.
Like your buddy right here. I was talking about him at the beginning. Yeah, bringing up some of his stuff, the wall of shame,
dude. And it's just, and they say stuff, and there's no accountability whatsoever. And it's people need to start getting called out on their bullshit. And if we say something that's bullshit, I fully expect somebody to call us out on it.
Yeah, and I mean, when I look at crypto, I do think that we're in the blockchain wars, and I think that it's going to be winner take most. So whenever I see, there's always like these posts. It's usually about the ISO coins because I don't know why it is. I think the reason why it's about the ISO coins is because there's a big holder base and it's easy to buy. These ISO coins are on like every centralized exchange, and most of them are in like the top 50. So they're all over the place. They're easy to buy. And I think that
been around.
make,
They've been
yeah,
around forever too, and so there's a lot of name recognition.
yeah,
So and it's just and that's why a lot of these people talk about them. I'm sure you guys have gone over this, and I apologize everybody for being late. I was over at the new property I finally got a contractor that's willing to come way out here in BFE to work on the cabin that needs to be fixed on the property. So I was talking with them. So I apologize. My apologies. Make hope.
no, it's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, it's just the problem is that there needs to be accountability for the things that come out of our mouths. Because people, unfortunately, people listen to a lot of the things that content creators say, and they end up getting wrecked. Thinking that they're going to get rich overnight, or they're going to get rich as soon as this happens. Fill in the space.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a couple of red flags that you can see popping up all over the place. It's whenever the narrative changes. So if there's some type of a narrative, and it's almost always a narrative trying to pump an ISO coin, whenever the narrative is, oh, when this happens, then number go up. And then that event happens, number doesn't go up, and they just change the narrative. That's a huge red flag. Like, also, I think what's going on with these ISO coins is that there are so many influencers who make a lot of money getting views because these coins are so easy to buy. And I think that these guys just make a lot of money, dude, like posting nonsense content that they're incentivized.
Exactly. They say whatever they have to say to get likes, to get shares, to get subscribers, because that's like you said, they're making money off of it, and there's no consequences. They can say whatever, and I wish I didn't have that meeting, because I actually did some deep dive research on an influencer, and it came up with some really interesting stuff. I'll have to save it for next time.
All good, man. We can run it on Friday.
Yeah.
We'll do
a part two. We'll do a part two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Well, I mean, that's what Crypto Trenches is we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep doing a wall of fame, hall of shame. It's I think it's important to call out people that are doing good things. Putting out good information. The one that I was going to say is putting out good stuff is Scott.
Me too.
He's doing good things. There's some other ones out there, and then there's some people that dabble in the gray areas, and to an extent that's all right. But then there's people that are just out and out fucking lying.
There's a lot of that though, man. Yeah. There's a lot of that. And like it's so gross, dude. Like I'm kind of heated today just because, like, man, I think I got scammed off that CypherRock fucking wallet, man. Like for $90, dude. Like I hate scammers so much, dude. Yeah. I hate it so much. Mm-hmm. And then, like, to see what is going on with this cold card, like, dude, it looks more and more like that cold card was a scam in the making for years. There's rumors that people were, having, their funds drained years ago. Yeah, because they were. And dude, like, it just makes me think, like, oh my goodness, when I look at so many of these projects, they look very similar. Because, Mike, we go through deep dive research every single day for hours. And we've reviewed at this point, I don't know, like 100 projects or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had an opportunity to go through and learn about all of these different incentive schemes. And most of them are designed to fail. The only way that these incentive schemes could actually work is if you got massive adoption on the chains. And most of these chains don't get that. So when you've got these inflationary emissions to incentivize validators to secure the network, and then there's no users on the network, then it just numbered down only for the coin. Yeah. And that's basically all of crypto is numbered down only. So, man, and then when you see like some of the biggest projects in crypto, like Ethereum, coming out with that EIP today, which would be, I think, devastating for Ethereum if it were to pass. It's like, dude, even the biggest projects are not, they're not insulated from this nonsense. So,
no.
Yeah.
They're actually more exposed, because they have massive market caps. And, to maintain that market cap, it requires that people don't sell, their shit coin. And so it requires, a fresh influx of new people buying it. There's people that are, catching on, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me and, thanking us for, calling out some of these projects and educating them on some of these projects. And it's, that's, they require that there be a new influx of buyers constantly. Well, especially XRP, with Ripple, constantly selling it, each month. They don't sell, all 1 billion, but they just got done selling, I think it was like 300 million or 400 million. And they relocked like, 700 million. But, at times, they'll do more and sometimes less, but that's constant sell pressure. And so if there isn't people buying up, what they're dumping on the market, plus, whatever else anybody else is selling, then price go down. It's kind of, really the long and the short of it.
Yeah, man, most of these are down only. And it just makes you think like, what do you buy? We didn't get an alt season this past bull. So what do you buy, man? Like, because when I look at the S&P and like these chip stocks, they look like altcoins, so like, and what exactly are you supposed to buy? What you're supposed to buy? Bitcoin, like Ethereum, Solana, like what do you buy, man?
The list is getting shorter and shorter. After watching the deep dives that we do and stuff like that, the list is definitely getting shorter and shorter.
I mean, I'm just looking at my watch list right now, and I love Bitcoin for the sovereignty of it. I also like Ethereum for the sovereignty on the layer one. But I mean, dude, like that EIP is a problem. And then, I like Solana because of the centralization of it a little bit. Moneymaker XRP, it's all good, man.
Hey, what? Hey, gay for the stay, man. Gay for the stay.
Like Solana, like the centralization of it actually seems like it might be a net positive. Because, at a certain point in time, like there needs to be a decision maker. And that decision maker has to own that decision. And so decentralization is great, but when you got a bunch of retards all coming together to try to make a decision, you're going to end up with a crappy decision, man.
Yeah.
So like...
Well, me, I'm not a fan of DAOs. I do not think that is good for any project. To have a bunch of us idiots, and myself included, deciding what a protocol is going to do and not do and how it's going to expand and build. And it's just, I leave that to the subject matter experts.
Yeah, man. And so, when I see what Nick is posting about Mr. Garlinghouse, I think about actions. I like to judge people based on actions. And if his actions have been to dump a worthless token on unsuspecting retail buyers for years in order to fund operations for a business that has been a very unsuccessful fintech, like as fintechs go, that's not a genuine guy from Kansas who doesn't want to see the little person suffer. That's someone who doesn't give a fuck, man, and is just trying to build his business. So I don't think that that's like a morally or ethically good person, man, to be honest with you. And then I'm just looking down my list, and at the top of my list, I got Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, Tron, Canton, Tau, Hype, BNB. And it's like, dude, we need to start running deep dive research on stuff outside of the top 100, or maybe just focus on the Canton stuff. But the problem for me with the Canton stuff is the KYC, KYB. Like, that's the problem for me, because that stuff is super regulated at the contract level.
And I'm liking a lot of the projects, but I don't want to get pigeonholed into one, into one chain. It's like, I really want to keep, the scope wide. I definitely want to cover, stuff that's in the Kent network, because there's some really cool stuff going on. But
It is.
I don't want to get that, monocular, that tunnel vision on, just because that's one of my pet peeves about a lot of these shills.
I was just going to say that
all they do is talk about one fucking project. Yep. And that's why I firmly believe that a lot of them knowingly give bad information, because there is no way for 5+ years that, daily you can talk about XRP, because that's the big one, where they just do nothing but talk about XRP and every little nuance. And they go through documents just to see that, XRP was mentioned on one line on page 78 in the third paragraph.
It's totally true. That's what they do.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, how can you be doing that much research and honestly believe that XRP is going to $10,000?
I mean, maybe you should just get drunk and then you hit yourself in the head with a hammer a couple times. Maybe you could believe it then, but dude, maybe we need to start doing deep dive research on stuff that's well outside of the top 50, maybe even well outside of the top 100, because we've got to be missing something. There's got to be value here somewhere,
Well, I mean, Canton was, came out of nowhere. It was just one day on RWA.xyz. It's like, poof, there's this Canton, network I never heard of, months and months and months ago. And we started, checking it out. And so, one of the questions on the game show was, do you think that, there's a top 5 project that, hasn't launched yet, by, I think it was 2030 or something like that?
I think yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I must believe that there's value here somewhere. I would love for it to be Bitcoin, but just with the decentralized nature of Bitcoin and the problems with the Bitcoin miner business model, if you can't get any meaningful proposal passed in a reasonable amount of time, and if mining Bitcoin doesn't make any economic sense in 6 years' time, then why would it not die? I hope it doesn't. But man, we got to find some stuff that is like a hidden gem that no one's talking about, because no one knows about
low cap gems.
Yeah,
Jeff needs to help us out. He's our bloodhound when it comes to the low cap gems. Get to work, Jeff. What I need to do is I need to get a bunch of cash and have Jeff sniff it. And then he'll go sniff out the low cap gem for us.
I think that we'll be able to find some good stuff. Maybe it's just a matter of time, but I do not think that, because insert name of institution here, partnered with some project, that means anything good for the project at all. If anything, it probably means the opposite. So yeah, man.
Well, we'll cut this off. I wanted to at least jump in here, and I rushed back, freaking sliding sideways down dirt roads to try to get back in time. But no, we'll definitely talk about this again on Friday. So yeah, and I got 2 barrels loaded for somebody.
Oh hell yeah, that's gonna be good.
No,
That's
I
gonna
got
be
two
good.
barrels loaded for somebody because they called us out, and I decided to make them my first my first query or pray because
Got you in our
there's
sights.
there's a lot. Like I did some deep research, and there's a lot here, and I'll cite sources. Whenever I do this, I'm going to use their own words. Whenever I pick my wall of shame person, I'm going to use their own words. I'm going to use their own claims. I'm going to use facts, data. It's not going to be like I think or maybe, and it's going to be what it is. So
I can't wait.
awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody out there and freaking tuning in and watching us get unhinged and freaking rant and rave. And so we appreciate you all in the chat, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the Node Show. Until next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Peace.
Peace out.